a week later if you're in Twitch chat, perhaps 2 days later if you're a YouTube viewer, we're back with more Chainsaw Man to talk about. Let's hope I upload this video straight away this time. Let's pray to the gods, because we are back with Chainsaw Man Chapter 101. Yes, we have read 101 chapters of Chainsaw Man. I don't think there are any half chapters or memery things in there, so I think it is actually 101. As you can see, we've got a new way of doing things here in presentationally, so I can actually scroll through the chapters. While you're stuck looking at a single image, chat will be on screen. I got my reactive image thing in the corner, so it lights up, and so there's a little bit to look at. You can say in chat what you prefer, the old way, the new way. Scrolling through the chapter is probably the best way altogether, but that gets me killed, chat. Gets me put on the Death Watch list. Death Watch list? Anyway, it gets us killed by the manga gods. So we're going to try and work around that. Have me scroll through the chapter. You'll have to use your pretty pink imaginations and look at the image. You probably will watch all of this second channel stuff as podcasting content. I don't think anybody's sitting there attentively looking. Play a video game or something. Anyway, we've got chat. Miller has just arrived just in time. We have just done our introduction. CeeLo Pilt is also saying hello to YouTube. There's some things to talk about. This chapter overall to me, I feel the way most people felt last chapter with this chapter, where it's just sort of like I don't know, I described it to Minty as a nothing burger. That's a little much. There's a lot of cool exposition in this chapter. I want more, though. I want more every time. I feel like the chapters are too short. Every time you really start to get invested in things, it just cuts off at the end. Chainsaw Man perhaps isn't meant to be read week to week, but all in one go like I got to do with part 1. But we're going to stick with it week for week, at least in the short term. Just those endings, they kill you. It's not in the good cliffhanger way. It's in the like... I was really getting into that, Lamau. So mangakas need to stop being lazy and release more pages. That's what we say around here. Anyway, I'm looking at the chapter here. We open. Do we want to do openings? Do we want to go through things? I think we should do openings. We open with a continuation of the end of last chapter where Asa, we don't have to say Mitama or Mitaka or whatever, because she says Asa to the, it's probably like Isa, but Asa sounds like ass, and that's funny. Isa, probably. Should we say Isa? I'm going to say Isa. Fuck you and your pronunciations. She gives Yuko's shoes back to her. Yuko tries to say, you should keep them, but then she comes up with a fake excuse that's definitely not real, that they're too small for her. I think they were a little too small, she says. Oh, too bad. Yeah. And then they're blushing each other. So biggest narrative through line, especially in this chapter, continuing from last chapter, they are gay. It's just true. I'm sick of these doubters. We'll see if Fujimoto has the balls to go through with it. They're blushing at each other all the time. There are multiple panels in this one and the last one of just looking back and forth blushing. They're in love. It'll make her a better weapon if they fuck. So she's going to be a better weapon. In the meantime, what we got to talk about is 3 layers regarding Chainsaw Man. Don't let me forget about that either. Isa. I like Isa. We're going to say Isa, I think. We already got some chat comments, so we may as well go over them first. You think part 2 will vaguely reflect part 1 with devil fights being the same? We will get into that when the maybe Bat Devil shows up. A very interesting thing. I'm all in the Isa Yoko friendship. I'm really satisfied so far. I don't know. Friendships are boring, lame, dorky. Fucking is cool. And we're on Shonen Jump Plus now, so let's get into some of that. We're breaking barriers here. And that means Yoshida and Denji can kiss. And it'll all be good. Denji said he wanted to have sex with all these girls. He was lying to himself. Repressed anger. Remember, he had like some repressed memories about his father or something. He killed him. I forget the revelation. I forget everything about part 1. That was actually about being gay. Gay people only in Chainsaw Man. The gay devil is afoot. Anyway, Chainsaw Man is on break next week too. This is true. Not another chapter for another 14 days. Sad times. Fujimoto has already stated before the part 2 that we should consider it something different from part 1. Well, I hope so, true. Sounding real friendless right now. I know. Fuck friends. Friends are useless. Love is a forever. At least short term. Have some fun. Fuck me. What do friends ever do for you? They're annoying. How in the world do you decide to pronounce it with an A, with an I? Because it sounds better than Acer? Acer? Do I sound American? Acer? How's it going, Acer? It's Isa. That's what I'm deciding. Mitika. Is it Mitika or Mikita? I've already forgotten, and I will never remember. Main girl. War Devil. That'll be her name. But that's a different character, and we get a name for her. We'll get into all of that. She's even asking her out to a date after school to go and look for devils. She's definitely going to die. By the way, totally on the Yuko's going to die thing now. Wasn't there last chapter? Thought you were a bitch if you thought so. It's happening. There'll be more devils in town, guaranteed. We avoid the jerks at school that way too. She's looking out for her. Sure, I could be down with that. Awesome. Then we cut to outside. We get the title page, After School Devil Hunters. I guess we should talk about this when they actually confront a devil. But why are people allowed to devil hunt? Like, if you've got like a deal with the devil or whatever, how you got superpowers to be in the thingy from the first one, that'd be cool. But I'm pretty sure maybe the reveal will be Yuko has some powers, but it's like she's just got a stick and she's going around and this fucking bat thing shows up. Maybe bat thing, we don't know yet. And like, what's she gonna do? Why are you here? Why are you doing this? We'll talk about that. They're eating these fish things. These probably have some Japanese cultural significance. Looking like an ugly fish here. A gay fish, perhaps. South Park reference, because they're gay. Important news here. We get the close-up of the fish because he's an octopus, and the text box says, I guess Yoshida skipped school today, because he's out fighting crime with his boyfriend Denji. It's all coming together, chat. Listen to everything I say. All my predictions are true. Is he serious about joining the Devil Hunting Club? ? And now, obviously, the irony here is he used to be a professional devil hunter, and this like school shit is beneath him. But they're like, he's not even taking it seriously. I swear this is a Dragon Ball Z scene where somebody's in a fighting club, and the Dragon Ball Z, that dramatic irony shit used to kill me as a kid. I used to hate it that they didn't know that Gohan was the strongest, but we did. But now it's kind of cute. There's a scene like that or in something where the person's actually a god level whatever and they're acting like they don't care because they're not around the school level shit. You've seen it before. I'm trying to think through Dragon Ball Z. I don't think it would even be possible because they're never in like a fighting club. Maybe when he's playing baseball and he's like, oh, he's like a dork. He ain't going to be able to hit it. Remember the Chad dude that was also into Videl? And he takes the picture at him at the thingy and tries to expose him? That's not cool. Crazy stuff, that DBZ, that Boo Saga. Voice is going. They then talk, and it turns out Yuko, also, her parents were killed by devils. They've got so much in common. This is a romance scene. I'm telling you, chat. Maybe it'll just be cowardly implied lesbianism, like Ymir and Historia or some shit. But it's happening. This is another like totally Chainsaw Man thing Yukio says here. She says, because I want to be a devil hunter, duh. You can earn big paychecks even without a college degree. Like the weird, the Chainsaw Man appeal, the fake B-movie appeal that I keep appealing to. There's something about Chainsaw Man is such a crazy, stupid bullshit. And then to ground it in like, oh, I want to make money without getting a college degree because college sucks and I don't want to go to college and I want money is like such a, why would this be a thing in Chainsaw Man? But it is, but like part of it being in there is like, we got to talk about the third layer shit. It's like the third layer of irony. Like it's making fun of all of that. See, we still can't explain it, chat. One day I'll be able to explain the appeal to Chainsaw Man. And then she says after that, not to mention my parents got killed by a devil. So I'd be like an Avenger, perfect, right? I have no idea if this is supposed to be a reference. I don't know what the word in Japanese is. But we start referencing things. Being an Avenger. I don't know. It could be a Sasuke reference because Sasuke wants to be an Avenger. I hear those actual like American Avengers are pretty popular. It's probably not. It's probably a different word. I don't know. And then in like delusion, not in delusion, barely believing it. What's the word for that? Mitika, I don't remember her name, says, me too, my parents were killed by a devil too. And she's like, she's unbelieving. She's not believing that it's possible that she's relating to a person this much, and then they're blushing at each other again. Gay as fuck, if I've ever seen it. And then also in disbelief is the word I was looking for. I haven't looked at chat. I probably should. I see Heath in chat saying Asa, which might be what we should go with. I'm guessing she'll die way later on than people think, similar to Power and Aki. I mean, yeah. She might be the Power. Maybe we'll be touching her boobs, so she will be like Power. We'll see. Takoyaki, I think, that might be the fish, is an actual octopus. This is just a biscuit/cracker. Can't say that word on Twitch. Cybergang thanking Miller. You won't be seeing me doing any of that. Every time Kyle explains the B-movie stuff, I get it a little more. See, Silo Pilder's encouraging me. And then we get the we're like manga main character lines, don't you think? Which makes me, this is the biggest indicator, this is the biggest death flag old Yuko is given here. Besides being adorable, besides being the gay love interest, this is the biggest death flag. Because obviously there has to be an irony to this line, because Fujimoto is on his big brain shit, right? He's on his majorly fucked up, not fucked up, but mindfucky meta stuff. So to have such a basic, like manga main characters, and obviously the base level irony, the layer 1 irony, is like, Lamau, they're in a manga, they're almost self-aware, but not really. But it has to be like a layer 3 thing, where this is like a hint that she's going to die soon and not be a main character, and that's going to be the tragedy of her excitement here. It's like when Stannis underestimates Ramsay, and then Ramsay fucks him up. This is a book thing, and he hasn't actually been fucked up by Ramsay yet. Because I don't remember the show if he ever even talks about Ramsay. But it's like, the predictions for Stannis dying in the next book is because he's talking to Theon, and Theon's like, no, Ramsay's the one you should be scared of. And then Stannis is like, what battles has Ramsay run? And then he lists off all his accomplishments. That thing where characters do that, and then it's so obvious that their comeuppance, their irony here is that they're going to get smashed by what they're not expecting. She's expecting to be a manga main character here, so she's going to be killed. I think that's the point of this line. Or maybe Fujimoto's just a hack, and it's a shitty kind of meta line to make you laugh. It was funny. I laughed. It was a good line. And then she goes on to say, when we become devil hunters, we should partner up as buddies, like the Avenging Angels of Death. Throwing the avenging thing back in there. I don't know if Angels of Death is I feel like that could be anything. I feel like there's 15 bands called that and 15 groups and all of fiction called that, so I'm not sure if that's a reference too. But she's very excited about this potential team up. Now, this all could be her excitement, and then she's beaten down by reality because they get their ass kicked by the devil at the end of the chapter. That could be their comeuppance without anybody dying. But characters, as we all know, died by the fucking truckload in Chainsaw Man Part 1, so it's very possible that that could be the case again in Chainsaw Man Part 2, and Yuko could be the first one. Though the beginning of Chainsaw Man characters didn't really die. It's when you got into more arcs, like towards the middle, I would say. Like the Darkness Devil stuff where everybody died, Beam died, and all the bros died, and all the bitches died, and dying was a thing. And then Mitaka agrees, says sure, if we become devil hunters. And then she says awesome, no takebacks, and then she says she has to pee when she hits the restroom. This is more of the Chainsaw Man appeal, the weird, quirky something, B-movie something. But this also could be a hint at her power, or that she's hiding something. She's going off to pee because she's got to shed her skin because she's secretly an evil monster or something. Again, a lot of this early Chainsaw Man Part 2 stuff is like, is this something we should read into? And it's exciting and fun to speculate about. Then we see Mitaka with a soft smile looking over, and then she like readjusts, she looks at the camera, she gets a smirk, and then she looks over, and you don't see what she sees, but obviously the War Devil has manifested. She's in love. Get over it, chat. God, if they kiss, it's going to be the biggest meme, because I'm going to be so happy that I was right. Now we actually get to the panel. I feel like I had more to say there. The P thingy, something about self-awareness and meta jokes or something. Then we get to the actual panel that you're all seeing right now. We should kill her. Now, so far, this is another thing where Chainsaw Man has to be operating on the third layer. This is like a generic comedy bit, right? Where like main character's possessed, and then after a heartfelt moment that's kind of cute and funny, we cut back, and then she says, "We should kill her." It's supposed to be like, that's like the punchline. Like, Lamau, that was unexpected. Learn how to read the room, War Devil. But obviously with Chainsaw Man, it has the underbite of like, well, this could actually happen. But like the joke has to be that it's not going to actually happen, and it is funny. See, that's the third layer. Also, the way the clothes are drawn, this is something Fujimoto, I don't remember if he did this in part 1, but they're like this clothes sticking. Have they talked about it being hot? I think they did, right? So that's why it's a part 2 thing. They did talk about that at the beginning of the second chapter, I believe. It's a cool little detail. I thought it was weird, and I thought it makes it look like something's growing on the inside, but it's just like the clothes sticking to them, I think, because it's hot and stuff. This old man, he's old as fuck, alright? He's sweating. Mitika then says, "Come again. The remains of your kills belong to you. It's so we can turn her into a weapon." Then we get some more exposition here about it, how exactly the War Devil works. Don't be ridiculous. The guilty you feel about creating a weapon, the more powerful it will be. This is more of the Chainsaw Man appeal, where it's like so stupid. Like why would it be that the guilty you feel, the stronger they become? Like that's such an inherent way to play into narrative drama that, like, if it wasn't like vaguely esoteric, like every hack YouTuber would be talking about how convenient this is, that this conveniently makes the writing better because it makes it more of a moral dilemma later on. But usually they only do that about super surface level elements, so this is a little too smart for them. But it is like that, but that's like the point. And it's clever and it's funny in the obvious... I still can't explain it, chat, I'm sorry. You like her, she would make a good one. Now, the War Devil here can read her emotions and thoughts, and she's not saying you love her yet, so that might be a point against the lesbian stuff going on. But she just doesn't understand love, and that's going to be what she learns, as we will get to. And then she starts going into how they would kill her. Luckily, this city has a lot of abandoned buildings, remember? We talked about that in the first chapter. And there's abandoned classrooms and shit. The population is decreasing because of these devils, which is something we'll also get into. Choose the location wisely and kill her with a little risk, and then they're looking back and forth at each other. Should probably look at chat. Where were we up to? Kyla really invested in these teenagers having sex. Welcome to Anime, Miller. Glad this is your first time. And by anime, I mean manga. Power can never be replaced. Power was one of one. True. Do you remember Gem-er, like the chatter? Mr. J? I think, is that a new name in chat? Isa and Yoru, they're going to be a fun dual protagonist. Yes, we'll talk about that in a second. Layers and B-movie talk this stream. Ugh. This is easily the most interesting part about Chainsaw Man to me. This B-movie point that I'm going to flesh out one day. Yuko has a contract with the dramatic irony devil, weaponizing her death flags, perhaps. Will she make Bucky's corpse into a weapon? Now, that would have been a good opportunity. It's probably decomposed by now, right? It's a dumb little chicken. Chicken with no head. How funny. Now, that's some Chainsaw Man B-movie appeal right there. Cute chicken that's not cute because it don't got a head, but ends up being cute because of irony. Irony's definitely somewhere in that B-movie appeal stuff. Anyway. She'll become a Kentucky Fried Valkyrie. Considering what we learnt this chapter, it would be pretty cool, a pretty powerful one, Miller. Dudes on page 17 has got to think Isa's tripping. Yes, I'm right on that page now, but yes, this one dude is clearly at the top of, I assume this is page 17, is looking at Isa as she talks to herself and is freaked the fuck out. It's funny. Where was that one? Oh, yes. What do you mean the guiltier equals stronger thing is silly? I can see a conditional power like that being something in Hunter x Hunter. Well, the thing, I feel like the silliness is not the right term. It's like convenience of like, oh, of course, like, because it makes her want to do it more for the narrative to be more dramatic is what I'm getting at. I think everything in Chainsaw Man is silly, and that's part of the B-movie appeal, so I'm not, like, attacking it or anything. Right, Miller, I thought it was pretty cool and something fresh as far as power-ups go. Make no mistake, I think it's sick. But yeah. Carl, you've never seen a B-movie, and you don't know what a B-movie is. That's the whole point! I have a theory that the War Devil lied about. Also, technically, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 1 is a B-movie. Not that has any B-movie appeal. I've probably seen something. Hey, I watched those fucking films in film class. I'm pretty sure some of them were B-movies or something. I have a theory that the War Devil lied about the guiltier thing. I think what it is you really need a strong emotional connection, but he's just fucking with her. Maybe. My fucking throat is fucking up. Mitika, Asa is maintaining that they don't want to do it. And then they have sort of this quirky back and forth about you're always jumping to violence. What is the best? What is that the best you can come up with? Is this a meta thing about violence being needed to make the manga interesting? You aren't here to make friends, remember, girl. Oh, and this was a cute framing thing. We haven't got too many in Chainsaw Man Part 2 yet, but the internal monologue being framed over her literal head is like, again, it's like so silly, but it's like clever. That's part of the B-movie appeal. Silly but clever. I have to change the subject, and then girl this, girl that, stop calling me that. I've never liked it. And then she's on to her for changing the subject because she can read her mind. I literally just told you not to call me that. I have a name. Isa. You don't call me by my name either. War Devil just is weird and awkward. And then they have this quiet little moment. I'll allow you to avoid the subject for now. She'll make a better weapon as you go closer anyway. War Devil is difficult for you to use, is it? Very well. Then call me Yoru. And apparently, now Minty told me this, and he probably got this from Reddit, apparently one of them means like night and one of them means day. One of them's an Estion, one of them's an Umbreon. I'm sure somebody in chat will pipe in now to tell me if that's right or wrong. But it's funny because there's a few things here. Firstly, this we're playing into both relationships in this chapter, right? She's getting closer to Yuko, which is things that we anticipated, and she's also getting closer to the War Devil here. They've come to a medium level of understanding here. Now, obviously, this leads us to think they're going in certain directions, both positive. That maybe she'll win over the War Devil and they'll live in harmony. There's also the potentiality that... now, I don't think this is literal, but I think it could be the point that the War Devil is just sort of this internal... like, the metaphor here is supposed to be like the two sides of the one person, the light side and the dark side. And you've seen Star Wars or something. And sort of like this internal conflict here between these two is sort of the internal conflict people go through and certain thematic things that can be said through that. Both could still go any direction. It still could be next chapter they run away from the Bat Devil and Yuko reveals she's totally evil. And I feel like I can see it both ways where we have the more, it seems like the more traditional way of these two end up becoming friends is in the War Devil and our main girl. Or it could be just like one time she just, without sort of consent, the War Devil takes over and does some crazy shit and kills Yuko or something. And maybe even something like that happens less dramatic, not killing Yuko or something, but she does something that was a little bit too far. Like there's a simpering devil that they've cornered and our main girl wants to let it go, but then the War Devil goes into the body. Battery saver. Goes into the body and says, fuck you, we're gonna kill them all, and then she slaughters them when they're defenseless or something, and they can have like a little fight like that. that would be a temporary one, or they do have a big massive one and it ends up the War Devil just is the bad guy Lamau. You thought otherwise, kind of like with Makima. The whole of part 1 where you're like, there's no way she's actually the bad guy. And even though you continually get evidence, you think it's going to swerve in the other direction of like, well, obviously, it's not going to just go in this direction. And then it did end up going in that direction. And it was still cute and clever and satisfying. So I'm not really invested in any way it turns out. I'm just very curious to the way it turns out. Anyway. If it serves my quest to kill Chainsaw Man, I'll swallow everything you say. Isa, and then they come to the understanding. Kill Chainsaw Man, turn Yoko into a weapon. I don't care about all that disturbing stuff. I haven't had this much fun in forever. I couldn't care less about anything else. You've never had fun with friends. Don't give me this nonsense. They're in love. And they both got a little... She's like holding up a sword here. What a phallic imagery. They're in love. Then we get the man with the microphone. We kind of got to hurry the fuck up because I did just get a fucking goddamn warning. He basically gives exposition that there are a bunch of these normal, like, in our world, causes of deaths, and like there's 20 people that listen to him. Also, this is part of the B-movie, Chainsaw Man Appeals. The super wacky, kind of crazy, yet making some sense, silly but clever. We're onto something of this silly but clever thing. He looks crazy, he acts crazy, but he's making a point here, and this is a bit of exposition that fits the Chainsaw Man world, that I think Minty told me 35% is what it comes down to. 35% of people will be killed by devils, which is fucking insane, but it fits, right? The devils are just roaming the streets sometimes. We see 2 blokes get killed at the end of this chapter. And maybe 2 more girls will be killed next chapter, though at most probably 1. My fucking throat. And then he talks about the people just walking past. He sounds like a conspiracy theorist. Like they're walking past. They're not even paying attention to the war on the devils that is upon us. This obviously also is very reminiscent of Devilman and sort of the crazy people who would talk in that, and how maybe the mass hysteria thing might come into play at some point. Maybe the people will go hunting for the war devil, and Mitaka will have to defend the war devil, which will be actually herself from Chat Station. Maybe Yuko will be, oh my god, how did I forget her name? The decapitated girl from Devilman. Mikama? No, that's the fucking, that's our girl. Miki? I think that's her name from Devilman. How did I forget her fucking name? Akira? Oh my god, I forgot Griffith's name. Rio? And Miki? Because in Crybaby there were 2 Mikis? I don't think there were 2 Mikis in... Maybe there was 2 Mikis in Devilman. I gotta reread Devilman. Make that fucking Devilman video. Nonetheless, Devilman stuff. Chainsaw Man, obviously. There's some things there, but they're at a war with the devils, and we get a cut to this potential bat devil killing people. He also says one of us could be killed by a devil tomorrow or even today. Is that the fate of one of our main characters, Yuko? We'll see. And he's talking about spreading the truth, which is another YouTube conspiracy theorist meme. He even goes on about how the mainstream media just talks about celebrities and what to eat and buy this. But yes, the Bat Devil attacks here, and he looks scary. There's 2 blokes that are getting killed. They're kind of in shock. They're sweating. This is a cute way to introduce a mechanic here where, oh my god, I forgot her name. Yoru, I think was her name. It says, I have some bad news. First, we can't beat that devil in our current state. And second, I just learned that I can't take over your body when we're stricken with fear. I said back away slowly and quietly, and then they say they don't back away slowly and quietly. She's mad. They rush off. It's funny, cute. That's how the chapter ends. It's a cool way to introduce like the exposition, like she just tried to, and like the urgency. I don't know. I've seen this scene verbatim someplace else, and I thought it was cool there, and I think it's cool now. I can't remember what the thing before was, but where you're like, oh fuck, we can't do this thing. We got to run. instead of like after the fact her telling her that, or like the main character having to go through that. It gives like urgency to the scene. You gotta hurry up. It's a clever way to do it. Should we get into the Bat Devil stuff? Now, this might be the Bat Devil. It doesn't look like it has wings that could actually make it fly, so it might be something else. It might be the Bat Devil or something. I don't know. What's similar to a bat? The thing is, this looks like the Bat Devil I remember looked a lot more normally bat. This one looks like more crazy. So it would be interesting if this is either a way to say that when, because that would mean the Bat Devil, Denji would have sent it to Hell, and then Chainsaw Man wouldn't have killed it. Well, Chainsaw Man's never been to Hell, like since Denji got it. So it couldn't have eaten it and snuffed it out of existence. But anyway, besides that, it got sent to Hell by Denji, or maybe it was Aki that killed it, by somebody. And it's already back, because it's like a weaker level devil. Bats, being scared of a bat, what are you, a fucking 3-year-old? Pussy. Bats are cute. Not this one, though. So it's a weak level devil, so it makes sense that it would get killed so quickly, not like not like the control devil that's back. That's a very powerful one. Who killed them almost immediately? What a mystery. How creepy. Hopefully we'll find out. That'll be expanded upon soon. So, again, the appearance is important, because it could be the fact that they might be saying that once, like, every time you reincarnate, like, you get stronger, perhaps, like, which would mean that this control devil might be stronger than Makima even, which could come into play with the big bad at the end of the manga. So the implication here is very interesting if this is another Bat Devil. It could just be that they are uglier and more fucked up. I mean, it could just mean they're more vicious, which means they're more powerful. Maybe I'm just misremembering and they look like identical or some shit. I feel like I remember it looking more normally bat-like rather than the weird, like, wing texture it has, and everything going on here. But again, Yuko and Mata Isa here running away. It looks cute, so it makes me feel like, oh, they're not going to be in danger and they're going to overcome this somehow. Or maybe this is the time where Denji jumps out and saves them and is introduced into the story. We'll have to see. But overall, I think that's everything to go over in the chapter. So I can probably read chat until the laptop actually dies. Why is my default hum the Chris Benoit theme song? This is problematic and I need to kick this habit. I think the War Devil lied about being able to kill Isa, I mean. Oh, not being able to kill her? Yeah, that would be a cute thing. Like, she actually doesn't like to kill people. Someone on Twitter posted a panel of the doll girl from part 1, and she explained that adding emotions to someone was how you dollified them. I don't remember enough about the doll thing from part 1 to remember or be mind-blown or anything. Isa/Hero is the endgame ship. Fight me. Indeed, loving yourself. This is Ava. You gotta love yourself, and that'll help you overcome all of life's problems. Oh shit, that's right, Heath. Santa. Yeah, being a doll and a weapon are kind of similar. So it's neat that they have similar conditions. Yuro will either go down the role of Kurama from Naruto or the Jujutsu Kaisen guy. I've been thinking about Naruto's relationship with the with the nine-tailed fox a lot in regards to this. The return of the bat. Isa will kill Yuko in the same way Denji killed Aki. That could be a thing. Bat Devil has... Oh, and Miller also brought up the, like, this could be a similar, like, hit points because, like, story beats. Like, we could be hitting in part 1 and part 2, which would be interesting if they parallel each other in that manner. Because obviously Denji, very early on, I don't know if it was literally chapter 5 or 4 or whatever we're on. I think we're on 4, maybe we're on 5. Who cares? We're on 4, I think. Doesn't matter. Denji, it might have been this early on that Denji fought the Bat Devil, so will we follow a very similar trajectory? It'll be interesting to see that type of parallel. Bat Devil has gone through some tough times. You literally called it the Bat Devil, and devils go through reincarnation, so that's why it looks different. We know they look different, like Makima and... Yeah, but why does Makima and this new girl Naru or whatever, Nayuta, why do they look like people? Why don't they look like devils? Because it's easy to control people that way. I still don't remember the why some look like devils and you can form into devils, and why Denji can transform and all this stuff. Should probably refresh my fucking brain on that, but I'm not going to. I feel like it ain't that deep. I don't know what wasn't that deep. And I'll read the rest of the chat really quickly. But for the YouTube audience, we are getting the second goodbye from the laptop, which means I have to let you go right now. There was actually quite a bit to talk about with this Chainsaw Man chapter. I think I like the new format better than the old one because I can actually scroll through the chapter and talk about every little thing without showing it on screen and getting killed by the YouTube police. Anyway, tell me if you like the old format or the new format better. Make a comment about anything. It'll be fun to talk about Chainsaw Man. Hopefully this video will be out in time when everything is still relevant. We got 2 weeks to wait until the next chapter. With that being said, support links in the description below. Thanks.